the stage with Wendy. She and I used to do this in my office a lot. Access to capital is absolutely, if I were to rank sort of what is at the top because of how often I hear about it, that's really it. And largely the $2 billion has gone out to support more capital pools for women entrepreneurs and for women-owned or led business leaders. So I'll give you sort of some of the concrete examples of what we've done, in addition to the whole of government approach, which is really important, but on sort of, honing in on my file, we put about almost $1.5 billion into BBC Canada, so that they are able to double their lending targets to women, so creating greater access pool there. Export Development Canada, who's in the room, or otherwise known as EDC, we put about $200 million into a fund that is going to help enable women in technology getting access, because we are also hearing that overall capital is an issue, and in technology, or in those fields in particular, it was particularly challenging to be able to get capital for not only starting but for growing. It was wonderful this week because I was over at EDC, and they've added another $50 million to the Women in Trade Investment Program that will specifically provide equity and capital to strengthen the capability and the opportunity for women to access that growth capital in order to grow. And then, and earlier you heard me talk about a number of examples where we directly injected some growth capital into female-led companies or female-owned companies that are growing with an emphasis on exporting. So not everybody, it was across the board, and it was across the country. Just to give you, I tell the Prime Minister this. I mean, I have this mandate to double the size of, to double the number of female entrepreneurs. But just on that pool, we put out, we were able to fund about 300 entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and a sizable number of that were Indigenous-led entrepreneurs with direct injection of capital. To give you a sense of what the demand was, we had over 2,000 applications, and we were only able to do just a little over 300, and that at the cost of about $30-ish million. So I think that capital is very real. And the last point I would say, which is really encouraging to me, because BMO has been up here, and I see many of the financial institutions across the country. We have a program. It's called the Small Business Financing Program, and what that really is that it encourages and helps financial institutions. I mean, government financing through BDC, etc. is not. I mean, we're going to be able to put a lot out there to sort of create those conditions, but we also need it to be a lot broader than it is today. So I'm really pleased that that these days, when I get around the country, financial institutions, like our big financial institutions, will come to me and talk to me about two things. They'll say, "Minister, guess what? I have a new small business program that's out there to help our small businesses." And then the other thing they'll say is, "Oh, Minister, guess what? I've got a new line of business that's focused, and I've got some leadership focused on women entrepreneurs." So this idea that we're all talking about, and that we're all creating the opportunities, these conversations, is actually also helping to incent the creation of greater capital opportunities. I agree, there's a lot more to do, but this is a very, very good start.